the history of the Y is the Y was invented.
I guess we should have started there.
There you go.
What is the history of the Y?
So the Y is celebrating its 175th birthday. So we're having a big national party in New Orleans in September.
Okay.
And basically was started to save the young Christian men, get the title,
Okay.
from the evils of the city. So during the Industrial Revolution, the young men would come from the farms and work in the cities. And so the Ys that were built on train lines had housing. They had cafeterias, barbershops, and gyms. So the men would work from dawn to dusk and then go to the Y. And it was a religious organization where they would live a Christian life so they wouldn't be tainted by the evils of the city. And they had all of this stuff to keep them in the building so they didn't have to go outside after they worked. So if you look at Ys that are on train lines, so Summit Y, that if you look, that's near the train, that used to have housing. Montclair used to have housing. So we had those older Ys built in the 1920s. And then the newer Ys built in, I would say after the 50s, are more suburban Ys where they don't have housing.
So you'd get a room or you'd get a dorm bed? You'd get a room.
You get a room, a very small room. Yep. And then you had, a cafeteria. They had, some of them had bowling alleys. They had chapels. They had, prayer time. So it was really to save those young Christian boys from the evils of the city.
I laugh, but it actually, I guess it makes sense. So when did the YWCAs come about?
So that's a separate organization, and they basically created a women's organization that was very similar to the men's, and same thing with the YMHA. So the YMCA was the first kind of organization that kind of focused on sort of, a men's group. And, 175 years ago, the world was much more segregated, men and women, so it makes sense. So the Ys became integrated when the law changed, I believe, in 1974, where they had to accept women. So that was for many organizations.
Okay, so the YWCAs
are not affiliated with the YMCA.
But they still do exist.
They still do exist, and they have a different mission than the Y, but they do equally amazing work, the YWCA.
But you're saying the YMCAs got integrated at some point.
Right, so they basically, right.
And then what's the YH?
A Hebrew Association, or JCCs.
Oh, I've heard of JCC.
Yeah.
So that's a YH.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would know way too much.
No, but I mean,
history trivia.
Your life is, in many ways, been all filtered through the YMCA. So of course you know the history of it. I never thought to ask you about the history. Sorry.
So I think what's really interesting about the Y is that wherever you go, you can belong, and it can really improve your life. You meet people, you try something new, whether it's a pottery class or aerobics class or swimming or, Zumba or whatever it may be. And you can just be brave, try something new, and you're in a safe place where you can belong to a new community. And I think that's really an amazing thing. Not everybody has that opportunity.
No, clearly they don't. And if I go from New Jersey and decide to move to Denver, Colorado.
There's a Y there. Yep.
And they could get connected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. Well, Julie, I really appreciate this. I learned some new things. I hope people who watch this video or listen to the podcast learn some new things, and that they really do reach out and either join a Y or help support a Y and the work you do.
Thank you so much. This has really been great. Thank you.
Thanks.